Okay, here goes. First video ever. Well, first video about this. It's gonna take me a little bit to get used to the camera. I'm really paranoid for some reason about it, even though I've done theater and movies and stuff. I don't get it, but I am. Maybe it's because it's the topic that I'm gonna be talking about that I'm just really nervous about. But this really awesome person who helped me made the comment that watching other people's videos about their transition and everything really helped them make the decision to transition. And that's absolutely the same case with me. I've been struggling with it my whole life, and it actually took watching videos of other people doing transition, talking about it, sharing their videos about the changes of their body as they go through transition, to make me finally realize that this is something that I need to do. I'm one of those people that it's gotten down to either doing transition or suicide. And I don't use that word lightly. It's not a word that you use to joke with or to throw around there for attention and all that kind of crap. I'm pretty serious when I say that. Let's see if I can do some background information for you. First of all, I'm a female to male transition. I'm just barely starting everything. I haven't started testosterone yet. I'm in the middle of searching for therapists and all that jazz to get the letters of recommendation and all that crap. I live in Colorado, which makes it kind of difficult because there's not a whole lot of resources for female to male. Trinidad is mostly for male to female transition, I've found out, so that's not as helpful as I wished it could be. Because there's always the joke about Trinidad. If you go there, you might not come back the same gender. It took a long time to realize that sexuality and your sexual identity are two different things. Again, some of the videos that I watched helped me realize that. At this point, I would say that I'm bisexual because I've had both male and female partners, but I'm also pretty asexual because I really haven't had a relationship in a very long time, if ever, given on how you look at it. So that's kind of up in the air, but before I found all the information and videos and things, I had been told a lot of the time that, well, if you're in love with a guy, then you must be a girl. Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, really, but if you get told that enough, you kind of believe it. So for a while there, I didn't understand that there was a difference between that. Your sexual identity and the gender preference that you have is not in any relation related to your sexual preference. You can be male and be attracted to men. You can be female and attracted to female. You can be female and attracted to men. You can be a trans guy, if that's the term you want to use. There's a lot of different terms. And be attracted to men or women or both or so on and so forth. Didn't know that. It's kind of interesting information. There's a lot of stuff I didn't know. Let's backtrack a little. The first time I wanted to do gender transition, I was 14 years old. And I lived in a really small town on the reservation in Arizona. And the only information I could find was in our little library, so I would sit in the back of the library reading all these medical textbooks about sexual deviation and all that kind of stuff. Trust me, the books were really old, so we're talking like they think it's a massive psychological disorder that, you're a loony and you need to go to the asylum kind of crap. A lot of those books were based on male to female, so that didn't help much. And what information I could find out about female to male basically said it's really not worth it because you can't have functioning body parts after you have surgery. These books were really old. Granted, that's also like 20-something years ago, so not that long, maybe 17, something like that. I'm not going to add it up right now. I'm not really a little too old to be like, here's my exact age for you. So at that time, I was kind of talked out of it and said, this is really not worth it. My parents are fundamentalist Christians who were very strict and abusive and were very it's weird because my mom was obsessed with men. Her whole family was trained that men were more important than women. So she was obsessed with my older brother and really didn't have a whole lot of preference for me. I mean, I know she loved me, but it was like a secondary thing because I was a girl. But at the same time, down the road, because it was actually more my stepfather that kind of started that, but I wasn't allowed to dress like a guy, or women's clothing, boy toys. I wanted Transformers. Wasn't allowed to have those. Yeah, I'm old. I'm sorry. That's how old I am. And I wasn't allowed to wear pants. I had to wear skirts, so on and so forth. During high school, it got even worse. There's a lot of other reasons for that beyond gender preference stuff. My stepfather was a control freak. I don't want to get into that. This is about transition. So I just kind of believed I was stuck in this mess, stuck in this body that I didn't want. When I dream, I'm a male. When I would play as a kid and pretend to be things, I was a guy. I was always a guy character. When I did role play online, like Lord of the Rings role play, we're not talking sex role play here. We're talking like nerdy D&D kind of role play. I'm a fucking nerd. Can't you tell? I'm wearing a Joker t-shirt. I'm a fucking nerd. I know it. I don't care. Anyway, so during roleplay, I was always male characters. And one of the few times that I actually passed as a guy was during a roleplay situation where the only thing I didn't tell people was the fact that I was female. I pretended to be me and my life, but I never said that I was a girl. And you betcha people treat you different. They really do. And unfortunately, somebody outed me, and that was probably one of the worst experiences of my life because the people that I was friends with and cared about at that point, it was really important to me, and it was really hard. And unfortunately, hopefully maybe it'll change after some of this, but even the people that I cared about at that point started calling me a girl in front of everybody and using the pronouns that I'm not comfortable with. Sorry, my necklace is coming off. I gotta fix it. Okay, there we go. I'm one of those people who do not like being called a she, or a her, or a lady, or ma'am, or I don't like it. Never have. It really bothers me. I think Calpurnia Adams' video about bad questions to ask a transsexual was fantastic because one of the questions things is like, oh, you can call me that. I may not say anything, but inside I'm hating you with the biggest burning fire of like, can't even explain how bad I'm like just sitting there wanting to like strangle you and go, I am not a girl. Sir, him, man, I mean, just, please, just, But anyway, now granted, I know friends and family who are dealing with me transitioning and being supportive and all that stuff. It's hard sometimes, you forget, you slip, things happen. That's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the kind of people that are really disrespectful to people in general. If somebody, I don't care if you're transitioning or not, if you tell somebody, I would really that. Yeah, let's try that again. If you tell somebody that you would rather be called this, regardless of what it is, then be respectful and respect their choice and their personality and call them what they want to be called. I want to be called he. I want to be called sir. I want to be called Mr. That's what I'm comfortable with. I want to be called Dorian. I have 2 other nicknames besides that, which is Grima and Mr. J, and those 2 are okay as well, but I'm Dorian. I don't want anybody using my other name or female gender pronouns. I'm not okay with it. So the video's running out. This is my first one. Let's see how it goes. I don't know how well I'm going to be able to do this, but I have to try because we have to share the information because so many people don't know. We have to try. We have to do something. So this is Dorian signing out. I'll talk to you in the next video, I guess. Bye.